whisper down the hall. Footsteps echo in the dark. Another case, another spark. Digging deep, the secrets hide. Truth and buried, it survives. Piece by piece, we break the lies. Light up and analyze. We're seeking truth, no stone unturned. Every clue, every word. Justice waits in hidden rooms. We won't stop. We're seeking truth. Silent victims lost and gone. Echoes scream, but life moves on. Faded faces, mystery calls. Answers waiting in the walls. Digging deep, the secrets hide. Truth ain't buried, it survives. Piece by piece, we break the lies. Light up and analyze. We're seeking truth, no stone unturned. Every clue, every word. Justice waits in hidden rooms. We won't stop. We're seeking truth. Through the static, through the fear, we'll uncover what's unclear. Through the static, through the fear, we'll uncover what's unclear. We're seeking truth, no stone unturned. Every clue, every word. Justice waits in hidden rooms. We won't stop. We're seeking truth. No, we won't stop. No, we won't stop. We're seeking truth. All right. Let me just change this really quick. And I will see you in 30 seconds. Well, hello. I know it's been a super long time, and I was going to cancel just now because I all of a sudden got this giant headache, migraine. I just came up over me. I don't know. I got the shakes. I don't, but I'm here. I was going to go through some odd stories or some things that we talk about. Also, I wanted to get back to doing Indigenous people, the culture, the people that have been through the worst. We're gonna watch a clip that's gonna be a little bit more detailed, and we have some notes. We're gonna dive through what the 60 scoops mean, okay? The term of it, where it came from, because it's really fascinating, and it's a culture. These children and even some of the adults that have went missing, the missing women,
And this 60 Scoop is basically a sneaky kind of an adoption, but only to now this isn't my words. This is one of the article words that we're going to go over. And I'll show you where it says it at. But it says prominent white middle class families. Now, it probably wouldn't be so bad, but these children sacrificed their identities, their languages, their culture. When they got into these middle white class prominently, or however you want to say that word, basically they were told to forget everything. Forget who they are, forget how they speak. I couldn't imagine being a little kid and being forcibly removed. Excuse me. It's quite sad. Quite sad. So please come in, get your stuff ready. I'm gonna be here till I have to go make some dinner, if I can even make dinner. I don't really feel like my headache's gonna be gone. I just took some Tylenol, so hopefully it'll wind down. Okay, so before we get into Indigenous, what do you guys know? Do you guys remember the uh there's a new case going on too, with the girl and the rapper, the singer. We're gonna go over that, but I did see that only a few people have been talking about this. Do you guys remember the three little girls that were killed by their father? Okay, let's go. We're gonna go there first, and then we'll get into what we really need to get into. Okay, so okay, so detectives dropped from helicopters to recover remains to believed to be Travis Decker. Travis Decker is accused of killing his three daughters. Do you guys remember this guy? Hi y'all, I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. I got muted. Hi Lacey. Hi. Thank you for being here. I have no sound. Can you hear me now? I was kind of in the middle of reading that, but I cannot believe. Okay, I can understand them not finding his body right away, but it took forever. I wish we could get justice for those three little girls that he unalived. Hi, Oki. Hi. We just got done talking about Travis Decker. They found his remains, what they seem to be his remains. Um, but he unalived his three little girls, left his dog in the truck. Um, and these investigators that found these remains, they had to be dropped out of helicopters. From the article that I just read, I'll go back to it. Hold on, give me 1 second. They're pretty much saying that it's him, Oki, because I just read. I can look on YouTube to see if there was any other, but this is from CNN. This is where, and there's the three little girls. This was okay. So they found him in Rock Island Campground. This is where this is him. Travis Caleb. I'm trying to find a date on it. Oh, so updated September 19th. So updated September 19th. I haven't seen anybody really talking about this. I seen somebody else going live earlier that was going to talk about. I don't remember if it was a actual like media site or if it was a YouTuber, but as of September 19th, they're saying they have him. They found him. Months after the bodies of three young sisters were found suffocated and abandoned in the Washington State wilderness, Travis Decker was wearing. So the investigators found fragments of other human remains and clothes that looked similar to what Travis Decker was wearing before his daughters were found deceased at the campsite. So, and they're saying the hunt for Decker spanned 3 countries and yielded false alarms from tipsters across the U.S. So they're saying that's him. After I'm done doing the next one, because I don't have chat pulled up right now. But as of September 19th, they're saying that was him. And hold on. Thank you. I don't want to get dinged by having background music. I'm trying to get to you guys. Hold on. Okay, so let me stop sharing this, and then I'll come back to you. There we go. I'm back. Oh, it was him. Yes, so it was him, Oki. I just can't believe not too many people are really talking about finding him, because that was a big, huge manhunt for that man. That was a big manhunt for that guy. I don't even want to give him a name because it's like, how do you do that to your babies? Your 3 little girls. I'm glad it's closure, but sad. It is. It's like a bittersweet. Like, I know. Did he unalive the mom? I don't remember if he unalived the mom, but he was supposed to bring back the girls from a 3-hour visitation, I thought. So it's just sad to see that the family can get justice and closure, you know? So I'm really glad that can you all hear my husband's music? Do I need to have him turn it down a notch? I haven't taken my heartburn pills, so if I get raspy, I'm sorry. But yeah, just to know that he, you know, he didn't survive, but he could have survived in those woods. If he would have had his stash, I think he would have been able to survive longer. But he didn't have his stuff in the woods. So, the next thing I'm going to show you before we go to the main story is I do have something I want to show you guys. I do have some people that I know that live out in the area. I do believe there's other people, other subscribers and chatters that I know that might be kind of close to my area. So I just want to let you guys know about this clip. This I have not seen anybody talk about. I have not seen anybody discuss this, that this could be happening to babies, newborn babies, newborn babies, toddlers. I mean, this man is so sick to be able to get away. Almost, I don't even know if they've got like pressing all the charges or if he's going to court. But we have to discuss this because there could be over millions of babies photos out here. From this man. I'm not seeing, can anybody hear the music? From this man. I'm not seeing, can anybody hear the music? Okay. Let me know if anybody does hear that so I can tell my husband that he has to turn it down a notch. I don't want to get struck. But okay, so this is out of Toledo, Ohio. A mother speaks, and we're going to go to it. Let me share screen. Now, this is pretty sad. Can you keep that down a notch? I'm doing it live.
Yeah, I'll turn it down.
Thank you.
In Cincinnati.
And she says her story is a
Please,
warning
thank
for
you,
parents
love you.
here in our area. Here's 11 Investigates Melissa Andrews.
When her daughter Miley was born, Holly Shropshire says her ProMedica pediatrician suspected she had a genetic disorder and referred her to Dr. Howard Saul, a Cincinnati-based geneticist, for a telehealth visit.
I met him a total of 2 times. I met him in August of 24, and then we seen him for a follow-up visit in November of 24.
But she says those visits quickly raised red flags.
The thing that alarmed probably me the most was the fact that he would use his own camera in the virtual visit while the nurse was taking pictures with the camera. The other thing was that he would just be all like giddy and happy and to see her, and would just make like quirky little comments.
Holly says Dr. Saul asked to see Miley without a diaper, which didn't make sense.
So he did want her facial features. He did want to see like her limbs and everything, part of her syndrome because of what her syndrome is. And then he did get to the part where he asked to see under her diaper, and he asked for that, and he would call it his pictures. I need to get my pictures.
She even recorded him asking for those pictures.
Okay, I need to get my pictures. Hold on.
Oh, she smiled for that one too.
I need my pictures.
Oh, yeah.
He did ask on both visits, which the second time seemed off to me.
Months later, she
such
saw
a good-
reports
such
that Dr.
good
Saul
instincts
was
of a
under
mother.
investigation, but says she heard nothing from ProMedica or Cincinnati Children's. Only this previous letter from Cincinnati Children's that Dr. Saul was no longer working there, and no mention of the
I would hope he's not fucking working there, but how sick is that? To know that this man was calling in my pictures. My pictures. No, motherfucker. No.
Fact that he was being investigated for child porn charges. She later found out he was charged with having more than 150,000 images and 470 videos of child.
Did you guys hear that? I wish I could go back and rewind this. I'm just. Did you hear the amount of photos that this man has of all of these babies? If anybody out there, anybody who has used this man, please do your vigilance or whatever you want to call that fancy word, or do your basic research. Have you ever seen this doctor? Pass this picture around. You guys get a screenshot. This should be flying through regular discords and on the media sites, and this picture needs to be passed around. By godly. Expose him. If this doesn't burn your blood, I don't know what does. This mother was from Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio, this lady, this is 1 day ago. This is breaking news.
Child sex abuse material. Some of the alleged victims are newborns.
I was so distraught. Like, that was my child, that's my infant, that's my baby. And now I don't know. At that point, I didn't know what had happened to any of her pictures or anything.
Rob Lewis is representing 2 Cincinnati families in a lawsuit against Dr. Saul in Cincinnati Children's. He says the abuse went on for 3 decades.
What we're going to focus on is, who else in the system knew or should have known what Dr. Saul was doing.
Holly is sharing her story because she believes Toledo parents need to know that their children may be victims too.
My biggest fear is that,
look how beautiful this mommy and daughter is. Like,
he maybe profited off of them. He gave them away. My daughter is out there now in the world, and I don't know where any of her pictures are at.
ProMedica told us ProMedica became aware of the investigation through broad media reports to the general public.
I haven't seen
Our understanding is that
I've only seen this from Newsbreak and WTOL.
Cincinnati Children's Hospital, the former employer of the physician in question, took steps to inform patients' families about the situation and supplied telephone, email resources for those seeking information. Further, law enforcement officials stated that the charges against the former Cincinnati Children's Hospital physician do not involve patients.
So you mentioned this allegedly went on for 30 years, and obviously the family found Dr. Saul through ProMedica. But answer for us tonight, what does this mean for victims, and could there...
30 years! And these nurses behind it need to be prosecuted to the fucking fullest. Excuse my language, my newscasters here. But this guy here is really famous here. We love him. I love him. She's recently new. I'm also used to watch 13 ABC with Diane and the other guy. But these guys are great.
There be even more defendants at this point.
Well, I think we're just seeing the beginning of that process, Jeff. Attorney Lewis says more than 100 people have reached out about joining the lawsuit, and we know other law firms have filed suits too. He's looking to make this class action. He also told me other defendants could be added, including employees at Cincinnati Children's or locations where Dr. Saul may have done these examinations. I've posted Mr. Lewis's contact information in this story on WTOL.com. For 11 Investigates, I'm Melissa Anderson.
Okay, you guys, if you have any questions, I can always link it here, but it's going to be in the, I'll try to put it in the description, WTOL, okay? WTOL. Okay, so let's go back to StreamYard. All right. Anybody still here? Does anybody see any of that? Like, what the actual fuck Like, this has been going on for 30 years. Over, she says a 500 and numerous long a number amount that I couldn't keep track of, but just like, and then wanted pictures of the baby without a diaper. Now, you heard the mom say the second time she was really alarmed. First time, I would be super alarmed. I don't like him saying these are my pictures. That would have never. I would have stopped that interview right then and there and said, "No, excuse me. These are my pictures, not yours. Those are your doctor pictures. Doctor pictures, not your pictures." Like, sick. And nobody was talking about that. I've not seen anybody really talk about that. Well, I mean, it is a small, I mean, Cincinnati's huge. I just don't understand how that could happen. Anybody know how he could get away with this he was getting away with it for a decade? And who knows how many photos truly are out there? I'm shocked. I'm surprised this mother hasn't tried to, like, want to murder him. If that was me, I would want to kill him. I would want him. I want an eye for an. That just is sickening. Okay, so I'm gonna close that out. Okay, now our next thing is, I think I'm gonna save the other one for later. Well, you know what? Let's just go to it. Do you guys remember the missing, the guy, and I want to say his little girl? Hey, girl, what up? Hey, Sierra. Look at my girl rolling in here. She rolling in here, trying to roll in here quietly. She trying to roll in. Thank you, girl, for stopping in. I appreciate you. Mwah. Much love. That whole doctor thing got me fired up. Like, I want, like, I cannot believe how close that is. That and how many babies' pictures, and just 30 years of him doing this. And these nurses knew it. Come on, these nurses had to have known about it. I mean, I just had to put my joint out because I was getting too hot. I had to put my joint out. Okay, so our next thing is, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but let's go to... Thank you all for being here. Do you remember this story? This just was recently. Missing son. Oh, let's get to play a video.
Yeah, it's not quite the the streak that we had with the perfect weather, but sure. I think we've now had enough imperfect weather that we can maybe get a little bit of that perfect weather back again.
Yeah, we're walking that fine line
maybe
between,
it's not
you
gonna
know,
be a
like,
video
all right, we've had enough and we need this. But yeah, we've had some pretty good rainfall here the past few days, and there's more to come. And I think after tomorrow, we'll start seeing that nicer weather taking over, and that's good for the weekend. But right now, the most steady rain is up to the north with the heavy.
Okay, I think it's just the weather. Okay, so it says a missing 9-year-old girl and her father were identified as two people whose bodies were pulled from Great Miami River in Dayton, Ohio. On Monday, authorities said in a post on Tuesday on X, Dayton Police Department said the bodies were found in the river near West River and West Monument Avenues, where 9-year-old, I don't want to butcher this name, Scarlibeth, I don't want to butcher her name, Garcia, and her father, 28-year-old Oscar Garcia. The two were last seen on September 11th, police said. This is what she looked like, and this is her father. The Montgomery County Coroner's Office will determine the cause of death of each person. Police said on social media it was not immediately clear how the two ended up in the river. We extended our condolences to the Garcia family and asked the community to keep them in their thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Dayton Police Department. Now, Dayton is only a couple hours away. Dayton's not that far. Dayton Police said on social media. Now, I haven't really seen anybody talk about this either, which is kind of crazy. I didn't really think I did any. I don't know if I talked about this when they went missing, but I do remember seeing other ones at first talk about this. But ever since then, I haven't heard nothing. First responders were called to the area. Reported seeing a body in the water around 1:20 p.m. on Monday. Authorities said multiple units responded to the scene, including the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and dive team with Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Fire Department. Is this an actual... Hold, please. What is this? The top? No, this ain't it. Sorry, we got it. Nope, this ain't what we want. Okay, just checking. Okay, so there's no video. My bad. So police said Garcia Mountains and Oscar Garcia were last seen September 11th at 5:45 a.m. Their vehicle was located in a parking lot near Code Credit Union. And the girls' shoes and socks. I'm sorry, let me reread this. The credit union and the girls' shoes, socks, keys, a tablet, a cell phone were found near the river, officials said. Dayton Police Homicide Unit is investigating, and no other information has been released on Tuesday. So this was yesterday. Nobody was talking about this. I'm glad they were found, and the Garcia family can now have closure to know that their loved one ended up in a river. You know, it's sad. I don't think there's anything left with that story, but we do have closure for these two. They were found. Hopefully we can figure out how they ended up in the river. We don't know. They don't know how they ended up in the river. And her keys, tablet, cell phone was all left. Yay! Yes, I need to get to 1K. I'm stuck at like 821. I love you, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Girl, I'm just glad to be back, and I'm glad you made it to your 1,000. Like, you make me keep going because I'm like, I got to get with my girl. She's 1,000. So, yes. Share me. I love that. Hit the like button, too, while you're at it, please. With a cherry on top. Okay, so our next one is... Now, this one... We started this a couple previous videos back. We started a segment with the Indigenous people. Now, There's Indigenous men, there's Indigenous women, there's Indigenous children. And it's sad. But our main topic is called the 60s Scoop, okay? Now, this 60s Scoop probably shouldn't have been happening in the 1950s and 80s, but it was a legit thing. But it devastated so many children's lives. They were stricken from a lot of their kids are attracted to the water for some reasons, and yes, let's join the 1K club. Yay! I know, right? You need to make us a thumbnail. I must be getting a pimple on my cheek. Like, what the fuck? On my chin. I'm so mad. Girl, you're so good at thumbnails. We should make a 1K club thingy. And yeah. Because you're good at making the photos, girl. We need to get to 1K. Well, you're already in the 1K club. I got to get my ass to the 1K club. So that'd be great. But this topic was brought up once in a chat room that this wasn't talked about. Yes. It's okay. So yeah, you're good, babe. Husband trying to get me higher. Anywho, this was brought up in a chat before from another creator this is a really important topic, but nobody ever really talks about it. And then I started doing some research on it, and then I found how all the Native Americans were being targeted down at the Stooges Festival, the ride thingy. I guess that's a very, very captive area for missing women and children to go missing. So today, it's happened in the Indigenous is the 60s Scoop, okay? The 60s Scoop, all right? Let's go. First, we're going to go to our notes here. When I get ready to do an article or if I'm into something really important to me, we got this, okay? So, let me know if you guys can. Yes, we can see it. I can see it on the screen now. Okay, now, topic is 60 Scoop Indigenous. Don't mind the spelling. I'm a horrible speller, but my girl, my AI, my co-pilot here, my handy dandy co-pilot, okay? I don't care if it's AI. That's my girl. She tells me everything I need to know. And it's facts. It's legit. I ain't being lied to, so I'm not lying to you guys, okay? A lot of creators like to give out a lot of misinformation and go off a lot of misinformation facts and unrealistical theories and hypothetical, realistic theories that these creators be coming up with. Come on, some of the shit, I've seen some get better, some have improved, and then some are still are you kidding me? Okay, but anyways, you guys can read it right there. It says, the 60 Scoop is a deeply painful chapter in the Indigenous history, okay? It's marked by systematic removal of Indigenous children from their families, communities in Canada. Here's a comprehensive overview to support your advocacy and your work. Okay. The 60 Scoop is a legacy of displacement and cultural Escher. And it is this legacy of this happened back then is what gets me, is because these children were placed in adoptions, and it's sad. So the 16 Scoop or the 60 Scoop is a legacy displacement and culture erasure. So what is the 60 Scoop? You guys may be asking, okay? From 1950s through the 1980s, thousands of Indigenous children were forcibly taken from their families by their child welfare authorities. These children were placed in foster care or adopted into predominantly white middle-class families across Canada and the U.S. The term 60 Scoops was coined by researcher Patrick Johnson of 1983. Report on Indigenous Child Welfare. Shit, I forgot to put in the links. Whoops. Here are some of the links you guys can go to. Maybe I can come back and put them in. Okay, so now we gotta go down to some genetic roots. Amendments of the Indiana Act 1951 gives providence of jurisdiction over Indigenous child welfare, enabling mass reparations. And then it gives you the Canadian Encyclopedia. Poverty and trauma from residential schools were used to justify removals rather than offering support to the families. The impact on the children and communities. The children lost connection to their language, their culture, and their identities. Could you imagine being this little girl or this little boy, and you know one language, and you have this culture that you believe and you love, and then it's taken away from you? And then you have a whole new identity. Many adoptees experience abuse, neglect, and lifelong identity struggles because they don't know who they are. Like, this is ridiculous. When we show you this clip, this 5-minute little thing, you guys are going to be fucking shocked. Like, the stories that you're about to hear from are so sad. Because this has happened. I call it the 60 Scoop. Communities were left grieving and fractured with generational traumas that still felt today. Legal reckoning and resistance. Survivors have led class action lawsuits demanding recognition and reparations. In 2017, Canada announced $800 million settlement for survivors of the 60 Scoop. Indigenous leaders and families continue to fight for accountability and healing and reform. And then here are some more links, the links that we need to put in here. Let me copy this. Let me see if it'll work. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so that's one of the leaks. One of the links that I want you guys to go and check out if you want to keep reading about this. We're going to go to the clip next, and then I do have chat pulled up. Thank you, babes, for being here. I am going to drop, Sierra, you can drop your link in. I don't know if I still have it, but we got Sinners. We got, I'm so sorry my voice is going out. I'm going to put that in just in case if anybody would like to bless me or tip me for being here. Sorry for the voice, but I have been off this main heartburn pill. I cannot get it. I don't have $800. I don't have it, and my insurance doesn't want to pay for it. So right now I'm just the guinea pig, and I've been trying different heartburn pills, and we're trying to see what works and what doesn't work. And if I talk too much, or if I've been talking for a while, this is what happens. So bear with me, okay? Okay. It doesn't help that I've been drinking lemon tea for 2 days. But I love my lemon tea, okay? We got Peppercut Tina. I'm going to throw her link out there. I don't think she's coming back. I don't know if she's even here anymore. I do believe she is because I don't think she's going anywhere. We love Peppercut Tina. I'm looking for headstones and headlines. Where'd you go? There we go. All right. My links are in for my peoples. Let's go check out this news thing. Okay. Now, trigger warning. This is sad. Please put a warning in the chat if any of my people are still here. If you can hear this. Okay. Here we go. Where'd you go?
As an Indigenous child, I was trafficked from northern Saskatchewan.
I was adopted when I was 2. We were brought up for a short while in Saskatoon.
I have 2 older sisters. We were taken from our biological parents
down to the southern Saskatchewan.
We moved to White Rock in British Columbia.
We went through 2 or 3 foster homes.
All the way to Africa.
We ended up moving to England.
All the way to Ontario.
We were adopted into a non-Indigenous household, which is about 3,000 miles away from our traditional territories.
Here we go. I'll pause it right here. From the 1950s to the 1980s, you guys can see this. We talked about this in the notes. I also have it wrote down on my notes. It's horrible. It's so sad. Okay, so here we go. If y'all can't be here for the full entire 5 minutes, please hit the like button. Please hit the thumbs up. Give me some love. I love y'all. Let's go. So this era is known as the 60s Scoop.
Back then, black cars or dark cars could just kind of come up the back roads and scoop up children. And that was how I was apprehended.
Oh. Kids were put in non-Indigenous foster and adoptive homes in the attempt to assimilate them and mainstream Canadian culture. Many see these practices as a form of cultural genocide.
Honestly, my sisters and I believe we were the only ones. We thought our experience growing up with non-Indigenous folks was unique.
Social services would write what they said was your story. It wasn't quite literally the truth, but it was the truth in which they decided to depict your story.
My sisters and I, we all ran away from home by the time we were 15 years old to escape a very violent home and sexual abuse.
I was documented as a failure to thrive child in the foster care system.
Can you believe that? I'm sorry, I'm writing down notes as we go.
And I believe that was from being overwhelmed and not understanding, not being told in my language, because I only spoke Cree.
I wasn't even told that I was Métis. So because of that, I didn't really know a lot about things, and especially growing up as being very young in White Rock, and then again, England, it was even more far removed from, from where I was.
I just wanted my parents to say that they looked for us, that they missed us. I think we were a painful reminder of what was taken away from them, and even that guilt that they were left with. And I find that, that's kind of straight across the board for a lot of biological families.
Research settlement survivors of the 2018. More than 34,000 claims have been submitted.
The settlement includes a $50 million foundation for healing, commemoration, education, language, and culture. We know there are other claims left unresolved, so we're working to address harm suffered by other Indigenous children as a result of the 60s Scoop.
Throughout this whole process of the settlement of, the little bit of education that's out there on the internet about the 60s Scoop, survivors have not been given the option to tell their stories. It's not enough to talk about it. We need to show Canadians.
And she's absolutely right. We need to talk about this, and it needs to be shown. We don't see it, so it's behind closed doors. We're not going to see it if it's not brought up to us. And so I'm here bringing this out to you guys. Do your research. Talk about this. This is important.
And people in the world, how far we've been taken from our traditional lands as Indigenous people and having our identities erased.
People who live in Canada and who are creators, instead of going after people, talk about stuff that's important. Like this. I know a couple people that are creators that are in Canada. Or parts of it or somewhere. We have too much hate against each other online and in real life, and we can't do what God wants us to do, good things, or whatever you believe in. You can't do good things if you're all about going after one of somebody. Just wanted to put that out there. Adoption stories. Colleen Hale Kadisha, or Ciudadano, named, date of birth 1972, place in birth AR Canada, name unknown, adoption unknown, reunited with family, yes, looking for family, yes.
It's really important to see that this legacy, which is within my lifetime.
Look, from Canada to all over the place.
We are people who have been here for thousands of years, and in a very short period of time were pulled up and ripped apart, and really the culture killed for very many.
I am going to see if I can I was looking for the sorry, I paused for a minute just so we could commentate and I don't get struck, just in case. I wanted to copy okay.
People, and because of that, you have a displaced people within their own land, and it makes a difference when you're trying to understand who these people are, where they come from, and what kind of thing.
I'll always put that in the link when I come back to you guys to main chat. I can put that in there then, so that way you guys can go subscribe and you guys can learn about some stuff, okay? Because the BBC News gives a lot, and then also the APTN investigates that our children are taken away. That's another good one to watch. So look, if you guys look, there's lots of research, lots of people we can talk about this more.
things they've been put through.
It's really validating to meet with other adoptees who.
I mean, if it doesn't matter, if this doesn't matter to you, or if it's boring, I'm sorry, but missing people and what they've been through and happen to be adopted to I guess I have been told I haven't been interesting, but I think this stuff is interesting to me. I want to learn about all kinds of different cultures, not just, I've been wanting to learn French, and because I have a little French in me, I want to learn, learn a little bit. I love the Amish culture. That's one of my other favorites that I have. But this is just important to me. I think we shouldn't have this happening. And I do know in one of the programs that we talked about how the motorcycle festival Sturgis is a big spot for Indigenous women and men to go missing.
Have the similar experiences and feel like they don't fit in anywhere.
The vast connection that we have and the vast disconnection we have. I know there's a word for it because I'm thinking of it in Cree. So we have a word of Minopamanzawin, like that good path, that good walk. So if I know the hardship of the people.
I'm writing this down real quick. Where'd my pen go? Sorry.
Then you would know the hearts of the hardship of the others that live around you on this block.
So that was a 5-minute clip. There you guys go. This is something that is very, very important. And I think that it's so sad that there's a lot of them. This one right here, too. This was 7 years ago. Like, a lot of it's not talked about, and it's so sad. So sad. Hi, Nanny. Hi, Spitfire. Hi, y'all. What's happening? Hi, Spitfire, Nanny, Gigi. Oh, shit. The peoples are here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My peoples are here. Yay. Oh, shit. Whoops. Well, my people are here now, so I got to give a... Whoa, let's give another one. Yes. I love everybody. Sierra's in the house. Yeah. I love that. I have some sounds. But I called the police though because Sierra is in the house. She likes to be out here causing trouble sometimes. Sometimes she might be a good girl now, but she a little feisty. That was funny. That's what happens when you smoke it if you got it. So sorry, I was doing some stressful articles, okay? Do you know how stressful it is? Especially to read all that. I am on a live. For one of these days, my nieces and nephews are going to come across this and be like, what in the actual fuck is my aunt doing on here? Yeah. Hey, got it, we did find out that Travis Decker was the one that they found the remains of. So what he did, he's going to go to Vernon Hill, okay, Travis Decker will burn in. He has met his pearly gate and been denied. I hope the family can get some peace knowing that the little girls, they hopefully didn't realize what was happening or about to happen to them. The dog did go to the Humane Society. They did take the dog to the Humane Society for care. He was left in the truck with the kids, I'm assuming. I can't imagine what that poor puppy dog has seen. But the one cop said that it took so long because there was so much terrain and every way, whatever that stuff is. It took it over the trails. Oh, it was confirmed he took the coward's way out. Yeah, they said that he, in the article that we had pulled up, they said that they thought he had a stash bag, a backpack, and that if he would have had that, he could have survived longer, but they don't know if he had one out there. But he had things in a stash backpack that he had left behind when he went on the run. But yes, as of an article that I pulled up as of September 19th, the remains of him was found. But let me just see really quick because you never know. But I'm just going to Chrome this real quick. So 5 hours ago, yep, here we go. Shit. We're going to have to do it this way. Oh, God, you're going to see me on camera. Crap. Well, I don't know how I can show you this. Unless I email it to myself, but then, okay, but it does say as of 5 hours ago, the marshal, so what is September 24th, let me know if you guys can hear this, okay, when I hit play. My phone's charged, so that's good. We got to add first.
New at noon, the father accused of killing his
Okay, hold on. Whew. All right, so I'm going to hit play. Old school, man. Remember how we used to do this old school? Okay. Of course you do that to me.
New at noon, the father accused of killing his 3 young daughters has been declared dead by the U.S. Marshals Service. The declaration came as part of a court filing today to dismiss Travis Decker's criminal charges in the case. Investigators have been searching for Decker since the end of May. Remains believed to be his were found near Leavenworth last week, less than a mile from where his 3 daughters were found dead. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says it is still waiting on DNA confirmation from the state crime lab before closing the case.
So we heard it. We did breaking news, guys.
Don't just work here; they're from here.
Hold on. We did breaking news.
I've been helping.
5 hours ago, breaking news. The marshals have declared that was him. Oops, let's go. So we have breaking news. Guess what we get to do? Breaking news. Marshals 5 hours ago confirmed it. It was him. They got him. He's dead, though, unfortunately. I wish we could have got him in the court of law. But y'all, like, he has changed so much. I was trying to pull up the picture of him, but now that I'm on camera, it's not going to let me.
Just so we could have our own rom-com, maybe. Wire-free.
Took a shower, did some cleaning today, but
Motion detection.
come on, ad. I'm poor, so I can't afford these ads. I can't.
New at noon, the father accused
So,
of killing his 3 young daughters has been declared dead by the U.S. Marshals. Remains believed declaration came as part of a court filing. Dead by the U.S. Marshals Service. The new at noon, the father.
Okay, so I wanted to show this because this is what when he went missing, this is what he looked like. Okay, he looks pretty rough when they put out his one mugshot of his one picture. Looks pretty rough. The one picture that okay, right here.
The shellac.
Like, look how much. Cannot believe you're gonna do that to your baby girls. Your baby girls. I'm shocked. Like, what is wrong with these parents? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Let's see here. Let's listen to the press conference. This was September 19th, though. But it looks like an officer does speak. Skip ad.
These were pre-planned operations for a fourth search related to the Travis Decker case.
Put a one in the chat if you can hear this.
Evelyn and Olivia. Again, we have not lost sight of what we're focused on doing, and that's bringing justice to those 3 girls. We are close to justice being served and law prevailing.
His handprint on the truck.
During our search yesterday around 15:30 hours, that'd be 3:30 p.m., our search teams did locate an anomaly that was seen in AI imaging from our drones. In closer inspection, when we got that, we did see that it was potentially a shirt. We were able to get units on the ground that did confirm that the shirt was consistent with what we had seen in previous surveillance photos with Travis Decker. Good. So I am confirming the shirt that we saw on scene is a match for what Travis was last seen wearing. In addition to shorts, which were U.S. Rangers shorts, they were also a match. And also personal items to include chewing tobacco that was consistent with what he had chewed, a bracelet, which is consistent with what we'd seen in photos of him wearing.
Really?
So collecting those items, we've since sent them off to the Washington State Patrol's crime lab. We're hopeful that we'll get those results back soon. I appreciate Chief John Batiste and the Washington State Patrol for continuing to be a constant ally for us. Even in my call this morning, I asked if he could expedite it. I understand the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is not the only agency within Washington State investigating a homicide and looking for quick results back from the DNA.
They had all those items that they sent out to labs. So,
best. So, Chief Batiste, Washington State Patrol, we appreciate it. We understand there are a lot of pressure. Going through the processing of the DNA position that we found amongst that clothing has been challenging for the State Patrol's crime lab. They were able to get DNA off that sample, and they're comparing it to the DNA samples that we have in place.
What the hell?
Travis Decker. I have asked them to
oh shit, my bad. I'll buy.
Take their time, not rush this.
Messing shit
This has
up.
been a thorough investigation up to this point. We don't want any mistakes made. Our investigative team has continued to be out on the ground today with Washington State Patrol's crime lab team. We've also had members of the FBI's crime lab team out here assisting us. We found additional body parts today to include 2 feet, some femurs, and also some vertebrae. We've requested that these items also be sent off to Washington State Patrol's crime lab for additional testing to be compared. Again, we do not want to rush this process. We'd like to have DNA.
They found his 2 feet. Okay, well, we could have just. I cannot believe that. His femurs.
Results this evening, but I understand in the interest of justice to ensure this case is handled properly, we have asked them to stand by, test more samples, and we hope to get those in the next couple of days. We're appreciative for our federal partners that have continued to be biased throughout this process. We recognize that we're trying to bring closure to this community. And more importantly, we're trying to bring pressure to our allies to come and give us more assistance where needed. But we do appreciate the fact that Whitney and her family have been very cooperative with us, and we're trying to bring them peace of mind and closure for this. We think we're one step closer. As soon as we get the results back, we are optimistic that these results will confirm that we have located Mr. Decker. But until that time, we're going to stand by and wait for the 100% confirmation. For the meantime, I'm going to bring up the representative from the U.S. Marshals, who've been our ally since day one, assisting us, leading the search effort, and I'll go ahead and let him take questions.
Hi, my name is Gavin Duffy. I'm the Chief Deputy United States Marshal for the Eastern District of Washington.
You guys have been on site. You've been part of this for months now, 3.5 months. You've pretty
3.5 months.
With Jacquelyn. Can you explain why it took so long to be able to find this specific spot? It's less than a mile from where that campground is.
I mean, I think if we look behind us in the backdrop here, the terrain is extremely complex, some of which would, it's hard to find anywhere in this country. And that's kind of what we found. I mean, it's incredibly steep. It's incredibly rocky. And that's why we have some of the experts, our Special Operations Group and our partners with Border Patrols, BORSTAR, and BORTAC, who are all three experts in this terrain to do it. And I think we're pretty proud of the fact, using all the resources we could across the law enforcement, public safety spectrum, to really drill down and find these remains, which we're very, very hopeful and fairly confident.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like whenever whoever the teams were that initially went up there? They were those people that ended up identifying that shirt, seeing those pants. That was that moment. You guys thought, oh, I think we got him. Can you explain a little bit about what that feels like for you?
I think it's the 1 yard line. I mean, we want to get across the goal line with the DNA, but we're pretty, it's a good feeling. We put a lot of work. I mean, hundreds of people in law enforcement and other career fields have touched this case because of its importance to the Chelan.
Now, I do see a lot of wooded
so to get to that 1
stuff
yard line
there,
where we are right now, maybe even a
I
little
do
closer,
see a lot of terrain like wood, but not like
working this case in any way.
There were some people online that were curious if Travis Decker would have gone north to Canada or south to Mexico. What do you say to people who were curious about him ever going that far, in your expert opinion?
Well, I mean, we appreciate the curiosity, right? I mean, we're in the business of finding fugitives and human beings,
right,
and they do unique things. And so that's how we're thinking as well. But we use fact-based policing, and we utilize our partnerships with other agencies, state, local, and federal, and we kind of narrow in where we need to be looking. And for the most part, we're pretty successful most of the time.
Is this search in that area wrapped up? Is anyone going back up to that site at all?
At this point, no, we're going to shut it down for the night. But if something changes, then we'll be right back to it. And then we're on to the next case. And if there's another case in the mountains, I'm pretty confident Border Patrol will be with us.
I'll give a round of applause to those police, even though they were a little bit late.
Down there, if it is Travis Decker's remains, did it look like someone had been camping there a while, or someone else knew?
Ma'am, I don't really have the answer to that specific question.
He was camping. He was prepared out there a little bit. He had to be. 3 months?
More searching, more field work, or is this just now waiting for that DNA evidence?
I think it's a lot of waiting.
A lot of waiting. Well, we already know. We already
100% confidence in what we're doing.
We already know because the last article that we just watched said that it was confirmation 5 hours ago. It was him. So human remains believed to be him, and that's him. That's sick. I cannot believe you could unalive your babies. I just don't get it. It's so sad. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys were able to hear that, though. We had to go old school there for a minute because I was like, wait a minute, how am I going to be able to get that on there? So you guys, because I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that was him. That's what they said it was. And I just wanted to make sure we got double confirmation. Okay? We over here making sure we got all the facts right. We're crossing our I's, crossing our T's. We got it.
And said NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if it.
We don't want him. Okay, here is. Oh, here's some. Photographs. Okay, here's There's that one. Let's see if I can do this. Just that one. Look at all of them out there with the helicopter. And that hot ass stuff too, wearing all that hot stuff. I cannot believe this guy. Helicopter, people coming out of the helicopter. Well, he is no longer alive, so that is, I wish we could have got justice. I wish we could have got him in the court of law. Spitfire said, did I read this? Okay, I didn't get to read this out loud because the video was playing. So I knew he was gone when they found the bloody handprint on the truck. I think he already had hurt himself before he left the scene. Yes, Spitfire, I kind of do believe like it. I also thought I read somewhere though in the article that he left his backpack behind and that had some Bible stuff in it, which he could have survived probably a lot longer. It just sucks that it took 3 months to find him. Less than 1 mile away. So I cannot believe that. Cannot believe that. So what is everybody having for dinner? I need to know. Put it in my comments. If you guys watch this on the replay, let me know what you have for dinner. I'm gonna go make burgers and actually cheeseburgers with some seasoned curly flies. Curly flies. Oh my god, I can't talk. I don't think he wanted to survive. No, Spitfire, I totally agree. I don't think he wanted to either. I think, yeah, it would have been nice for him to go to court and stuff and be, prosecuted by his peers. But unfortunately, he was not. Let me show you guys what the hubby got me, okay? This case. Look how cute. He got me the new cup. My mom bought me the first one. He got me the second one. So this is new. And then the little paw thingy here. It's a straw cover. But he bought me these little pink paw ones. And I thought, oh my god, Scooby-Doo, perfect. Isn't that super cute? Okay, so he got this on Amazon. $14.96. But you have to check back and forth because the day later, after he purchased this, it was back up to $34. I could not believe that. Could not believe that. I am a kid at heart, and I love Scooby-Doo. I'm sorry. I love my Scooby-Doo. But the only downfall about the case is, yeah, it does stay pretty clipped. But the only thing is, it doesn't have like a handle. So when I put it in my back pocket and I sit down in the car, it just gets bent. So I gotta remember that I don't have the handle, the thingy. But it does have the 2 slits in it. It opens kind of big. This comes out pretty big. But I've used it for a month now, and I've already got a couple chips in it. But it's okay. It's okay, because you know what? We can get more. They're only... I don't think he paid too much of the... I think he paid less than 10. Because you have to, when you were shopping on Amazon, you got to be careful, because Amazon likes to change the prices real quick. Oh, thank you, girls. Yeah, those are the two presents, or a couple presents that he got me that I have up here I could show. He did spoil me this time. I don't think he wanted to let alone see under our, yeah. I do too. I love it. I love Scooby-Doo stuff. So that was, I'm glad they got him though, but I'm too glad that the guy criminal he can no longer hurt nobody else. My heart goes out to the mom and the family, and then the Garcia family. They were found in the river. I'm not sure how they ended up in the river, and the keys and all that was left. The cell phone was left, but now we do have, closure to that case, because that was recently. They went recently missing in September. So we covered a lot. We did. So let me give you guys this really quick, because I love you all, and I wouldn't be here without you all. Thank you all for being here and being my friend. I want to get the rights to play that song. Wouldn't that be cool if I could do that? That would be. Thank you for being my friend. Or at least coming and hanging out and watching. You ain't gotta be my friend if you don't want to, but at least come be a subscriber and hang out and learn about true crime. And, we don't do no speculation. We don't do... sometimes we do, depending on if it's an adult case and if it's older case. If it's too new, I don't like to do that. If it's an older case, that's fine. But, I'm weird. But I'm also going to give you guys this one more time. Let's see. Let's go with... Oh, did I post that link in here? Let me see. Go subscribe to that. I love the Golden Girls. I know, Nanny. I love the Golden Girls too. I always used to love... Okay, Rose was I like Rose, but she was always so dorky. Blanche, I always thought I would be a Blanche. But not, because I just love how, she just thought she was so sexy and all the guys wanted it, but I also like Dorothy, though. I always thought I would be a Dorothy or a Blanche. But Sophia and her Italy stories, and Rose from, I can't remember, Skushkadov, whatever her freaking, and Sophia, oh my God. Is Betty White still alive? Or did she just recently pass away? Betty White, is she still alive? Or did she go 2 years ago? I thought she was the last one. I can't remember. Anybody know? I don't remember. Sophia, yes, Sophia. I love her. She was always so mean to her daughter, Dorothy. Like, Dorothy was, and her ex-husband, Stanley. Oh, God. Nope, they're all gone now. See? Betty White, my mom, I was watching this one show. My mom told me it was Betty White's very first husband. He had a game show, and it was a pretty cool show. I was watching it with her the one time. We were watching all the old TV shows, because there's an old TV show network of game shows and all that. And there was this really old guy. And it was just a really cool game, though. It was fun. So I love all those old school game shows. Like, I always wanted to go on that one. It was a shopping cart, and you got to grab them big blowout thingies and all the groceries, and yeah. If I were to go on one of them shows, I'm going straight to the meat. I'm going straight to the beef, the steaks, and I'd go straight to the beef, the cheese, The beef, seafood. I don't even eat seafood. Big objects, and then I would try to go grab all the sides. Like I just know meat and cheese is so expensive, and then you gotta look out for all those secret blowout things. Yes, I can't remember Betty's husband's name. I know it doesn't drive me nuts, but I know he was on a game show. I don't know if it'll let me do it. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Bear with me. Dick Barker, Betty White's first husband, who had a game show. It was Alan Ludden, her third husband, that had the true love of her life. Password was the game. Password. He hosted the iconic word association game from 1961 to 1980, and Betty White frequently a guest. Betty White was a frequent guest, and their chemistry on the show eventually led to their marriage in 1963. Ludden also hosted the GE College Bowl and made appearances on the show panel shows during the Golden Girl age television. Betty White was double the first lady game show herself, thanks to her appearance on shows like Match Game, Title Tales, To Tell the Truth, and the $25,000 Pyramid. Yeah. Betty's first husband was Dick Barker, a World War fighter and pilot. They were married in 1945, but shortly when the war ended, but the marriage lasted only a few months. He was a quick snapshot of their story. At a women's volunteer services is where they met. Betty moved with Barker to his rural Ohio chicken farm, but she quickly realized farm life wasn't for her. She later described it as a nightmare and returned to Los Angeles to pursue her acting career. Could you imagine if Betty White didn't? The Golden Girls wouldn't exist. You know, she made her and the Golden Girls. Yep. Nanny reminds me of the one like my mom. Like, yep, that's right. It came in my head. My mom does the same thing. But that is crazy. I knew it was Password. I knew it had something to do with but I knew her husband, so it wasn't her first husband that had the game show. It was her second husband, and that was her long lost husband. They were married a long time. So Los Angeles, Betty, Canada interview, she said she married Barker because they wanted to sleep together, adding, "It lasted 6 months and we were in bed for 6 months. The marriage helped me appreciate the real thing when it came along. It later married to Alan Ludden, her third husband, who was the one she called the love of her life. Want a breakdown on all three marriages and a visual timeline. That's awesome. Can you believe that? The Pyramid. That was a good game too. The Pyramid. I liked that game show. How many kids did Betty have? Let me go look. Hold on. I'm asking Copilot. So hold on. Okay. How many kids did Betty? Oops, but I can spell white right. W-H-I-T, white, have. Oh, check this out. Betty White did not have any biological children of her own. However, when she married Alan London in 1963, she became a devoted stepmother of 3 children from his previous marriage to Margaret McGloin. McGloin. So that's awesome. David Ludden, Martha Ludden, and Sarah Ludden was the youngest of the 3. The 3rd child, the youngest of the 3, who also maintained a close bond with Betty. Martha Ludden reportedly had a strained relationship with Betty early on, but they reconciled later in life. That's awesome. Felt blessed to have them in her life. Never regretted not having biological children. But in 2012 interview, she explained, "Aw, that's awesome. That is pretty cool. I didn't know that either. I didn't know she didn't have any biological kids. That's crazy. Oh my God. Okay, but it is 6:00 and I have not ate dinner and my headache went away and I don't want it to come back. So I am going to end you guys out with another big, huge thank you. And I'll see you on the next. Thank you. In here.
Another case, another spark. Digging deep, the secrets hide.